Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Today's question is remove covered intervals. In this question we are given a list of intervals. We have to remove all intervals that are covered by another interval in the list. Interval a comma b is covered by interval c comma d if and only if c is less than equal to a and b is less than equal to d. After doing so, we have to return the number of remaining intervals. So let's understand this question with example. See, in this we are given a list of intervals, that is 1, 4, 3, 6 and 2, 8. We have to remove all the intervals that are already being covered. Let's see 1 comma 4 and 3 comma 6. See, we can see that 1 comma 4 and 3 comma 6 are not getting covered, but see here 2 comma 8 is also an interval and 3 comma 6 is also an interval, but we know that in the interval 2 comma 8 3 comma 6 is also present. So this is the covered interval, that is we have to remove the 3 comma 6 interval because it is already present in the another interval, that is 2 comma 8. So we will remove this interval and will return the original intervals that should be present. So they are 1 comma 4 and 2 comma 8. So total number is 2. Another example is 1 comma 4 and 2 comma 3. See, we can see that 2 comma 3 is already being covered in 1 comma 4. So therefore 2 comma 3 is a covered interval. So we will have to remove the 2 comma 3. So our remaining interval will be 1 comma 4. So we will return 1. And in this case, in example 4, there are 3 comma 10, 4 comma 10 and 5 comma 11. We can see that here the covered interval is 4 comma 10 because in the interval 3 comma 10, 4 comma 10 also exists. So therefore it is a redundant interval, that is it is being covered, it is being already covered by another interval. So we will have to remove this, interval and return the remaining answer. So this was the question. Now let's look at the approach of this question. See, this question is very simple, but first we have to look what we have to do in this question. First, we are given an interval. What we will do, we will sort this interval on the basis of the start time, that is in descending order. So we will first sort this in ascending order basis of the start time. So first will be 1 comma 4, then this then 2 comma 8 will come, and then again 3 comma 6 will come. We can see that here the overlapping interval is 3 comma 6, which is already being covered in 2 comma 8. So what will be our approach to the code? First let's write the base case. Our base case is that what will you have to do, if our vector intervals dot length is 0, if our intervals dot length is 0, it means that there is not any list, not any interval present, we will return 0. If interval dot size double equivalent to 0, we will simply return 0. Now why we have written this base case? Because we are sure that when our program will reach below this if condition, then it means that our input array will at least consist of one interval. If it consists of one interval, that means our count will be 1. The least which is possible will be 1. So what we have to do, we will take int count equal to 1. We will initialize it with 1 because we know that if the interval's length is not equal to 0, it will be at least 1. It means that there will be at least one interval which will be non-overlapping and covering all the other intervals. So our count will begin with start. Now I said earlier that we have to sort our input vector in the ascending order of the starting time. So what we will do, we will use a custom comparator in this case. We will use a custom comparator. Let's first write the custom comparator dot end, and let's name our custom comparator as comparator only. Now let's write custom comparator. See, bool is the return type of the comparator. Comparator is the name of the function, and the arguments will be passing are, there will be the comparison between the two intervals, that is this interval and this interval. So the argument that will be passing are vector int ampersand int a, and similarly vector second vector also int ampersand b. Now we will check if both the, we have to sort the sort our intervals on the basis of the starting time. If both the starting points are same, then what we will do, we will choose that we will choose that value whose ending time is greater. See, if our a0 double equivalent to b0, it means that when our starting points are same, what we will do, we will return a1 greater than b1. It means then we will sort the intervals on the basis of in descending order of the ending time, and else if this is not the case, we will return a0 less than b0. So this is our custom comparator. If both the starting points are same, we will sort on the basis of the ending time and in descending order, and if our start points are not same, we will sort in the ascending order of the start time, that is a0 is less than b0. So this was our custom comparator. Now what we have to do, I have already said that we will take our count equal to 1, because we know that when the length of the vector, that is length of the intervals, is not 0, there will be at least one interval which will be present, which will cover all the other intervals. So what we will do, we have to declare the start point and the end point of that interval. Start is equal to intervals 0 0. It means that in this case the start is equal to 1 and end will be equal to intervals 0 1, end will be equal to interval 0 1. Now we will be using this start and end as our parameters for comparing that which of the interval is covered or which of the interval is not covered. So our start and end points, initially the start and end points refer to our first interval, that is 1 comma 4. So now our loop will start from int I equal to 1, I less than intervals dot size I plus plus. Now we will check. See, when we will know that a particular interval is being covered by another interval, when these conditions will be fulfilled, that is c is less than equal to a and b is less than equal to d. So if our intervals of I 0 is greater than or equal to the start and intervals of I comma 1 is less than equal to the end, this means that this interval, a particular interval at which we are standing right now, is a covered interval. So we will do nothing and else continue. See, let's look at with an example. Suppose we have taken 1 comma 4. Suppose this was our array initially. Suppose this was our array initially with only two intervals. We know that 3 comma 6 is being covered by 2 comma 8. So in the starting our start value is the 0th value of the first interval, that is 2. Our start equal to 2 and our end will be equal to the 8. These values start and end will be equal to 8. Now when we have started our loop from first position, that is from this interval we will start our loop. Now we will check whether the current value, that is the first value of the current interval, is greater than the start value and the last value of the current interval is less than the end value. Here we can see that 3 is greater than 2, that is interval I comma 0, I0 is greater than start, and intervals I1, that is 6 is less than end, that is 6 is less than 8. It means that this entire interval is being covered in our 2 comma 8 interval. So in this case what we will do, we will just continue. So if this was our case, if only this was our case, our loop would have run till here and we have returned the count from here. But now our original array was 1 comma 4. So when we will sort it, it will become 1 comma 4 Now our start will be initialized with 1, and end will be initialized by 4, because our start and end value represents the starting point of our first interval and ending point of our first interval. Now our loop will start from this index, that is 2, 8, and it will traverse till the end of the array. Now start is this and end is this. So first we come to this condition, whether our current interval 0th position is greater than the start, that is 2 is greater than 1, yes it is greater than start, and intervals of I, 1, that is the last position of the current interval, that is 8, is less than the end or not. So in this case it is not greater than the end. So what we will do in the else statement? Now what we will do in the else statement, we will update our start value and we will update our end value. How we will update that? Our start will become minimum of current start, comma interval I, 0, and our end will become maximum of current end and intervals I, 1, and we will do a count plus plus. Now see this with an example. Now our start is 1 and end is 4, and our now loop is iterating from this position. So now we see that our if condition is not valid, this condition is not valid, but when if is not valid, then else we have to execute. Now when we will execute else, what will happen? Now our start will become minimum of the current start, that is 1, and starting value of the current interval, that is 2. So minimum of 1 and 2, it is 1. Such start has become 1 now, and our end has become end is become the maximum of the current end, and the ending value of the current interval, that is 4, 8, and maximum is 8. So our end has become 8 now. Start is 1 and end is 8. So we have covered these two intervals. Since we have updated the values of start and end, we know that we have covered these two intervals. So therefore we have done a count plus plus, because we are sure that these two intervals are not covered in between themselves only, that is 2, 8 does not contain 1, 4. Yes, so we are sure that these two intervals are not covered. So now our else condition has run, so our start has been updated and our end has been updated. Our start is 1 and end is 8, and we have done a count plus plus. We initialize the count with 1, and now our count plus plus is done. So our count is 2. Now our iteration will move to next index, that is 3, 6. Again first if condition will be checked. If intervals I0, that is the starting value of the current interval, is greater than the start, that is yes, 3 is greater than 1. So this is a valid condition, and ending position of the current interval is less than the end, that is here 6 is less than end. So this means that this whole interval is being covered in this interval, that is the interval formed by start and end. So therefore we have done a count plus plus here, and that is why this if condition has run and we have continue it. That is, we don't have to do anything on this step when we have found a covered interval, and in the end we will return count. So our count value has stored 2, so we will return 2 only in this case. So this was the entire code of this question. Now let's run the code. Now guys, one thing to note here is that when we are declaring our bool comparator in another class, we have to use a static variable, and if this bool comparator has been defined outside the class, that is this bool comparator has been defined outside the class, then we do not have to use the static keyword. So for running the comparator inside the class, we have to use the static keyword. So now let's run the code. So guys, you can see that the code has been accepted. I hope guys you liked the video. Thank you.